Hey you guys, welcome back to Our Awaken. If you are an elder, and obviously that can mean different things depending on who it's in comparison to. If you are a person who has been on this earth for a really long time and you have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom to share, start a YouTube channel. And I know a lot of times older people tend to count themselves out and you guys see yourselves as, oh, like that's for the young folks, or oh, I'm too old to be doing this. But no, there is a space online that I don't think you understand how much you could thrive in. There is literally a space online for you that needs you. And the reason why I say there is a space that is specifically made for you is because although there are a lot of content creators online who tend to give really great life advice and mental gems on how to navigate in life and things not to do and things to do based off of things that they've either experienced or also things that they've heard from other people, I think it's really important to also acknowledge the fact that people tend to want to listen to people who mentally they feel like you have something to offer, and that tends to come also with age. I'm a 25-year-old who tends to give really great advice. One thing that I can say that I have acknowledged when it comes to the demographic of people who are willing to take my advice and are open to it without any pushback are people who tend to either be around my age group, but mostly people who are younger. I find that to try to give advice to people who are older than me, they tend to kind of give a little pushback because of my age, and they feel like, well, what can I learn from you? And sometimes their ego can get in the way, but if someone who is around their age group or older gives the same advice, they're more willing to take it in because subconsciously in their mind, they feel like, okay, I can accept this advice because this person is older than me, so they must have more experience and more knowledge than I do versus someone who's younger. So that's basically the point that I'm trying to get at. You being an elder, you already have an advantage because people are more willing to listen to you because of that idea of course they know more than I do because they've experienced life more than I have. So what is there that I can't learn from them? And also another thing that's super important to acknowledge is that a lot of people feel like they're not really having the best guidance to look up to nowadays, especially now with social media. We tend to just see a lot of influences that aren't the best influences, and a lot of people are being raised honestly through social media. Being that now social media is such a big part of our lives, I feel like a lot of people tend to feel disconnected and not really feel like there are people that they can actually have like this genuine connection with to seek advice. And that's not to say that there aren't people who do have those connections, but I'm saying there are a lot of people who don't have that guidance, who don't have those connections. And a lot of people are seeking that knowledge online. A lot of people are seeking sound guidance, mature guidance. There are a lot of people out here who are seeking maternal and paternal figures to just guide them and make them feel like I have a person that I can almost lean on who can give me advice when I need it. And it's not to say obviously like you're going to be like communicating directly with the people, but the fact that you're online giving advice is almost like this virtual hug that people are wanting. There's this sense of security and comfort that a lot of people are seeking, and your advice online is almost going to feel like a virtual hug to them. Like, okay, things are going to be better. And also another thing to acknowledge is that there are adults out here who aren't being that figure to their kids or to the youth, and you could be that. There are people out here who have emotionally unavailable parents, emotionally immature parents, parents who aren't so present, parents who don't give good advice, and parents who might be immature. And if you are that mature figure, you give sound advice, you're a caring, empathetic person, but you're also wise from your life experiences, you are so much valuable than you think you are in this content creation space. And I just really felt like I had to make this video because I'm like, you know what, like oftentimes I hear a lot of elders saying this is for the kids or I'm too old to be doing this stuff. But no, there is literally a space online waiting for you. Express yourself verbally, to share your wisdom and share your knowledge, or also connect with other elders. I've seen videos of elders who share their style and talk about how they've gained confidence throughout their years because there's no need to try to be validated by anyone. As a young person who hears those things coming from older people, it's really motivating. It keeps you level-headed. It keeps you almost inspired to mature yourself before you even get to that age. And honestly, it gives your viewers a better chance at experiencing a better life without having to experience certain life lessons in order to learn from them. You get what I'm saying? I'm the type of person where I like to learn from people so that I can avoid certain mistakes. You know, if there are things that aren't necessary for me to have to go through in order to learn the lesson, I would appreciate learning the lesson without having to experience it. And although I understand that certain experiences do help mold a person's character, I feel like I have grown and matured so much just simply based off of advice I've gotten from elders online. So like I said, if you are an elder, pick up your camera and start making videos. Of course, like, do things that you enjoy doing so it doesn't feel like, oh, I don't want to do this. But understand that there is a space for you on here and you are valuable, and there are people who would greatly appreciate your presence online. And don't worry too much about, you know, editing and uploading videos. It's honestly not as difficult as you guys may think. You don't have to get into all the fancy edits. As long as you have your phone, you have a camera, just record a video, give some advice. It doesn't have to be super long. It doesn't have to be super short. It's honestly up to you. But don't put too much pressure on yourself to feel like, oh, this is so difficult. I promise you it's not that difficult. And although I do have my issues with social media, one thing that I can honestly say is that it has opened my eyes so much to just other people's life perspectives. Because when you grow up in a certain environment, all you know is your immediate environment. So you know how people do things, how people think, how people, you know, just operate. That's literally all that you know until you experience life from another person's perspective. And that's when you come to the realization, like, wow, there are other ways of living in life. There are other ways to thinking. Some people are lucky to have people around them and be in an environment to where they have that moral support, they have that backing. But there are also people out here who don't have that. They don't have community, they don't have a great environment. And you could honestly make such a great impact on someone's life by just being present online. I really hope that you consider picking up a camera and just putting yourself out there. And being that you are watching this video, you already have an idea on how to navigate the YouTube platform, which once you get into the creator space is also not as difficult. So please consider creating your digital profile and being a blessing to someone, because I promise you, if you're giving great advice, and it doesn't even need to be this grand, complicated advice, you sharing your knowledge and your wisdom will be beneficial to somebody. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to come across your videos one day.